guys, good evening. It is Sunday, November 4th. This is the Donovan Sadiq Show. Don't believe the hype. And finally, after a long summer of working and watching and seeing what's been happening, I'm joined by my good friend and Mr. Moreno Valley, Daryl Terrell, is in the house. Daryl, what's been up, man? Where you been hanging out at?
I've just been mostly working and mostly been doing work on my on the county's behavioral health commission.
Right. How's that going? Being on the behavioral?
It's going good because here's something we just opened up a drug treatment center right off of Cottonwood and right across from the skate park. Uh-huh. It's for young mothers. It's for drug abuse. Okay,
and this is on the county level.
Yeah, this is the county level.
Okay, so how does the city of Moreno Valley would represent that? I know we're part of the county, but
because our citizens were able to use the facilities, and because if someone that has issues with drug abuse or need counseling, they could go there to seek treatment.
Okay,
so that's some of the things that we talked about in the past on our past shows, that we need more resources in this community, and like mental health and substance abuse programs. So this is one step of bringing more resources when it comes to substance abuse, and hopefully we get some for our mental health.
Okay, great. That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, and that's been in the works for what, a couple of years?
Yes, because at the meetings I always represent Moreno Valley on the commission for Mary Ashley. So I usually always says, what about mental health services? What about our resources? Because our city needs the resources.
Right.
And because our city doesn't address those type of issues, that has a lot to do with the homeless issue too. So we need to get more of these resources there in our community so we can address it.
Now, let me ask you this. You're a longtime resident here. You didn't run in any elections this year, even though, some people, floated an idea for you to run a few things, which is okay. It's like me. I don't want to run. People always ask me, are you going to run? Are you going to run?
Yeah, I got you.
When you're involved in the city politic and people know that you're involved, they always want to know, if you're going to run or what your part of it's going to be. So, you didn't do any of that lately. You didn't run.
Yes.
But with what has been going on as you've been observing, I'm very sure that you've been observing what's going on. Let me ask you this, and let's just get right to it.
Yeah, okay.
On a national level, now we have the House coming up and stuff like that. What do you think the House is going to what's going to happen in the House?
I think
House of Representatives. Do you think the Democrats are going to take it, or?
I think my heart would say the Democrats will take it, but I think it might be a slim margin. But also at the same time, remember in 2016 when no one thought Donald Trump was going to win, and he won because the poll said one thing. So you can't never really trust. Only one poll you can only trust is the one you go to voting. But it seems like the way the enthusiasm is, that it's driving out Democrats to come out to vote.
Now, let me ask you that. Are you a Democrat, Republican, or independent?
I'm a Democrat.
Okay. Now, that isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Because and I bring that up is because of this, because 3 of the people that are running this city into the ground are Democrats. So what, as a Democrat, what is your feeling about that?
My feeling is this. I feel that I'm an independent-minded thinker. People that know me, that I'll do what's best for our city. What's best for our residents. If I was on city council, it would be what's best for my residents first. And for my constituents in my neighborhoods and in the district. If I was mayor, it'd be what's best for the people. It's not best with the party, because first I'm of American who happen to be black. I'm a Democrat, but that doesn't mean I toe party line. I what comes first is where I live and the people that I serve.
Right now, and that's a great answer, and that's what I try to tell people. You got to be an American before you're anything else. In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Republican, Democrat, we supposedly are all Americans. That should be number one. Then you're whatever party, whatever. And I think that's the problem where they're trying to fool us. And, I used to be a Republican, then I became a Democrat, and then I got done with that because I realized what was going on, in my opinion. They're the same parties.
Yeah, I look at it like, for me, I'm an independent thinker. No party could tell me how to think. I'm gonna think the way I'm gonna be pragmatic about things. It's like my dad.
Your interest.
Yeah, like my dad said, he's more a moderate.
Okay.
Okay. When I look at issues, I don't look at it as a democratic or left or right philosophy. I look at it what's best, the best interest of our community. That's how you should look at it, because it's not a Democrat or Republican problem. It's our problem.
Right, especially at a local level. Now, national level. Yeah. You got to play these stupid this side or that side or whatever games you're going to play. But at the local level, and you've been through a lot of elections here. Yeah. So I do think that the Democrats are going to take the House, and I do believe that the Republicans will hold the Senate. And because of that, even if the Democrats did take the Senate, they would have to take a significant amount of seats. It takes 2/3 of a majority to impeach the president. Yeah. And a lot of people keep forgetting he has been indicted as a co-conspirator under the Michael Cohen thing. So that's another thing. And then he's recently come out. And I'm not here to bash Trump. I'm just saying the average person with all these things coming up, it would be a thing. So that's my prediction on the national level. But what people really want to hear from you, Mr. Moreno Valley, is the local level. So at the mayor's race, what is your thoughts?
My thoughts is this. As I observe over the last couple of, years, and I've seen the city has gone in the wrong direction. And what I'm saying is, when I watch that you need 3 councilmen to put something on the agenda, I think that's wrong, because I think it should be 2. And because when you do that, you leave a whole section of people that these council members represent, so they don't get a say so. Right. So to me, it tells me that something is up. Okay. Because why would you need 3? Say a different regime is in. Will they go back? Will they keep the 3, or they say, you know what, forget it? Let's go back to 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But they're saying that the reason that they went to that is so that things can get done in the city and they can move forward. But here's the problem when you have 3 like that. Yeah. You have Brown Act violations. Yeah. Which is what we have going on right now because they did not go by the procedure.
Yeah. And I think going back to the rule of law, what they call it, of running a meeting, that you can't have people. See, here's something else that really bothers me. It's the no civility in that chamber.
Well, that's because he lets certain people run it like a goddamn circus.
Well, yeah. So these people that's hollering and screaming should be ejected immediately. Get out of here,
right? And set that precedent.
Yeah. No matter if you're for or against both sides, if you hollering and screaming,
anybody that hollers and screams will be escorted out.
Yes,
period.
Exactly.
Or if you break the rules of what I just told you, stop talking about other residents, address everything to me. If you break these rules, you'll be escorted out.
Yes, I think that's. It's been like the Wild Wild West at a council meeting because,
and we've been through a lot.
And that's what I'm saying, because years past there wasn't a lot of this hollering and screaming at people. It was more decorum. Even though someone didn't disagree with it, they didn't shout you down, right, or scream at you or make you feel like you have no voice. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, that's another thing I've seen. Another thing I've seen too that's out of line too. We put programs and we don't measure anything. Homeless. This goes back to me being on the Behavioral Health Commission when we deal with homeless. Mm-hmm. Now, how we do with homeless in the city, we contract out with the Salvation Army, and we get people off the street to do work and all this, and give them referrals of the Salvation to help them fill out stuff. But to me, there's no measurement. There's no more performance measurements or anything like that. But see, the way we treat homeless people, and then I've seen this, is that you put them in a home first, then you have wraparound services around them. Okay. And that's and you deal with the homeless. You get them in a situation where they got shelter, and you attack the problem. Okay. But we're not doing that. To me, it seems like we've been doing a facade politics, which means we put all these wonderful programs up. Mm-hmm. It looks beautiful, but no substance behind it.
Well, exactly.
And so people, when they run for re-election or whatever, look what I've done. Well, look what I've done. Mm-hmm. But when you ask, okay, how many people have you served? Oh, I can't tell you that.
Can't tell you the numbers on that.
It said, why? And you can't. Why you can't? Oh, we don't do that. I said, why not? Mm-hmm. And so it tells to me, it's like Christmas tree ornaments. Mm-hmm. You put them on the tree and make it look good,
nice, right?
And make people feel good and make everybody, everything's good. But It's not when you hear gunfire in the streets.
Yeah.
You see homeless folks.
Right. What is that, Edgemont? But,
I can hear that in my house.
Right. So let me ask you this: you've been observing. You've got Ixtine Gutierrez, idiot mayor, Jeff Gaiba, Councilman Jeff Gaiba. You have Denise Fleming and Lawrence Baird, and I think that's it. Running for mayor, 4 people. Out of those 4 people that I just call, I think I missed somebody.
David Marquez.
Oh, and Dave Marquez. I'm sorry, Dave, but I think Dave should stay where he's at strategically. However, but he's running, so he's in there. Who would you pick for mayor?
I would think Guyver.
And
the reason why you asked me why,
and I'm going to cut you off, and I'm going to make sure, because I know people are listening that are saying you didn't ask this question. A lot of people keep saying that he took $250,000 from Highland Fairview, which is the reason why they don't want to vote for him. But you're saying Gaiba, so what is your reason? My
reason is this: he seems to me he has the education, he has the vision. He seems like he'll be a fair person. He's very knowledgeable. Been on the planning commission.
Sure, and he's prepared.
He's prepared to do it, and I think he'll be a fair person as far as running meetings and giving committee assignments and giving a fair shot to listen to people, even though you may disagree with him.
Yeah,
but at least you could agree to disagree with him. It won't be like something, well, you don't like me, so therefore I won't put you on that. I don't care if you don't like me. I'm going to put you on there because I think you could do good.
So are you going to vote for Jeff Gaiba?
Oh, I'm going to vote for him because I think, talking to him, and like I said, I feel comfortable with him because of his knowledge.
Right.
And I just feel that he will put the city in the right direction.
In the right direction. Me personally, everybody knows me and Jeff, we are like cats and dogs. Mm-hmm. Number one, he's in the Navy. I was in the Air Force. Mm-hmm. He was a crew chief. I was a crew chief. So different airframe. So me and him, we've had our differences. Trust me, we've had a lot of differences. However, given the alternative of the other candidates, to me, and he was a teacher. Yeah. Jeff Guyver reminds me of like a Spock type person. He's a logical person. Everything has to do with logic.
Agree. Yeah.
Boom, 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 this. And then he asked for 2 more years. He says, I was going to just give me 2 more years to do whatever it is he's doing, whatever. But given the alternatives, if we stay with idiot mayor, that ain't going to work for me. Yeah. And it shouldn't work for anybody else if you don't like the way the direction the city's going. Now, the next person outside of Gaiba would be Denise Fleming! And that's an absolute no. And I say no for the simple fact that here's a woman that is unethically qualified to be the mayor. Is she educated? Yes. Why do black women always tell you how educated they are? Who gives a damn? Anyway, yes. Is she qualified to be mayor? Anybody's qualified to be mayor. Yes. Look at the idiot we got up there. Yeah. So her thing is, I'm going to give her that as a generic base. But to vote for her, I've shown time and time again how unethical Denise Fleming is. She is not interested in solving problems. And for me, anybody that says, I cannot wait to work with you, Ito, in a public forum, and am not afraid to say that, you're not getting my vote.
I look at it as the same as you, but also I look at it also, too, that I haven't heard any specifics. It's more a lot of generic things, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do.
Yeah, she talks in generic terms, exactly.
And I hear that over and over. And I've been in the game for a long time. I hear that over and over from candidates. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I want to say, what are you going to do specifically? Not when someone
what's your plan?
Say you're going to bring jobs. You don't bring jobs. The city staff and the zoning brings the jobs to the community.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
The zoning has to be correct for those businesses to come in, and if the zoning is correct, and you got to make it business friendly, then that means you got to have the staff to go out and say, "This is what we have. This is what we have the zoning for." Mm-hmm. For you. But
this is what we're working.
But you can't take credit because I had a discussion with a city official, former city official. We were talking about people taking credit for balancing the budget. See, by law, you got to balance the budget.
Yeah, that's law. Right.
But the politicians do not balance the budget. Mm-hmm. You got city staff that put their nose to the numbers, mm-hmm. and they come up with a balanced budget. You make the vote, but they the one that do all the hard work to have a balanced budget. Mm-hmm. And so people say, I have 7 years of balanced budget. You know what? Yeah. That's BS because you got to have a balanced budget, no matter what's in the Constitution. I saw it in the California Constitution.
Yeah,
so
and it is.
And so anybody could do it. My kid brother could balance the budget, or my dog. Well, my farmer dog Cash could do it.
Right.
So anybody could balance the budget. So the tough thing is, can you lead this community? Can you bring people together? Can you work with everybody?
Right. And
even the ones that hate your guts.
Right. And that's what it is. This isn't personal. Guyba and me don't get along. But you know what? I have a respect for him. Like he has a healthy respect for me. And that's all. And then that's all it comes down to.
Yeah. And I think he could work. He worked well with other people, even regardless if they disagree with him or agree with him. I think he could bring people together to move it forward.
Yeah. Well, being a logical person, everything with him is procedure. I mean, that's just like an OCD problem of a person of his personality. Everything has to A, B, C, D. He can't think in A, Q. He has to go A. Has to be logical.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing with him is that the fact that he will go by the laws and the agreements and things like that. And I'm definitely going to talk to him about firing the executive staff. And what I mean, people say, well, that's going to cost a lot of money. They're costing us a lot of money already, especially that damn lawyer. You know, I mean, they've got to go. The clerk, the lawyer, and the city manager, they have to go.
Yeah, because I could see the city needs to be really revamped.
I mean, we need to start from scratch.
And I think Jeffrey Guyba, with some other supportive people, could to make the changes as necessary to move the city forward.
We need a group of executives coming in there that understand that the city's been through a lot, and because of that, the impression of the jobs they bring here and the interactions that they do with certain developers, they have to be careful because of all the upheaval all this stuff brings. Yeah. All these people that have been doing circumventing the law. How are you going to sit on camera and admit you did not follow the proper procedures? A city staff member admitted that. I think it was Mr. DeSantis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we might have jumped the gun. And you still did the groundbreaking ceremony knowing that you violated and possibly violated the law. And according to our statute, the city statute, any violation of the law of our statute means no contracts are valid. But yet we saw signs. We saw detailed plans of the skate park and all this other stuff. So according to our statute, there shouldn't have been a groundbreaking ceremony once he recognized, oh yeah, we jumped the gun.
Well, this is the whole atmosphere of this city. You know, we jumped the gun. We jumped the gun with the marijuana debate. We should have took our time on that. We should have had a moratorium, then look at surrounding cities and really brought the stakeholders in and really got a good piece of work, if that's what people want to have in the city. But we didn't do that.
We didn't do that.
So we jumped the gun on that. We jumped the gun on the amphitheater. We jumped the gun on the skate park.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the atmosphere of I noticing that we jumping the gun on everything.
And there's no thinking. And a lot of people that don't know Darrell Terrell, you know, we call him Mr. Moreno Valley because he's been running around here for a very, very long time. He is the actual author of Hire Moval. How long did it take you to actually think about that program and put it together? Because it's on public record if you guys do not believe what I'm saying.
Well, this is how it happened. After Skechers in 2000, when it passed.
Yeah, that was in 2007, I think. So it's about 2008 is when you started talking about it.
I started thinking about it, and I said, what can I do to make sure that if we do any zone changes or any financial incentives or anything that benefits a developer, that our people should benefit because it's our tax money.
Absolutely.
So I started beginning to think on how we as residents could benefit from such a change. So that's how that came about, because I think if we're going to do these kind of changes to help someone to incentivize so they can come in and change the zones or give them incentives that we can have our people.
Right. Help our people.
Be part of that thing. But see, this is what happened. I kept running the roadblocks year after year after year after year. Jess Molina said, no.
Not now.
Then all of a sudden, here it is out there. Hire Moval. I said, wait a minute. Now, I said that sounds so familiar to what I've been promoting for the longest. And people say that's. I said, yeah, you check the thing. I want people
You
to
submitted
benefit.
documents. You submit the whole thing.
Because I want people to benefit. I want people to be able to work in the city. If we're going to do something, they got to benefit. And in some city, well, they said, well, you get sales tax, but what about the human need?
Yes.
A person need a job, a livable wage. But it didn't go far enough. But I always tell people, that's what leadership is all about. Leadership is about inspiring people. And that idea inspired the mayor to champion that idea.
Right, but he could have championed, but he also should have gave credit. It's just like when you do a progress report or a report in college, you have to cite your sources.
Yeah, I would have done it different. If there was a guy, like if it was the mayor that came up with something like that, I would recognize him and say, you know, I'm going to thank you, Dr. So-and-so, for
fake ass doctor
for bringing forth your idea and give them credit for it and say, thank you for that. I want to champion this idea so more people could benefit for what you did.
Exactly.
That's all.
So, but how long of a time did it take you to plan that out?
God, it took, like I said, I would take it took months, maybe. It took months.
It took months.
Well, yeah, because I had to sit down and structure it. I had to read the stuff. I had to come up with it.
Right, but see, now that's just one idea for a program. It took months to do that.
Yeah.
These idiots take a marijuana thing that can destroy the city, a cash and carry business, and just rushed it through.
Yeah, and that's speaking of the marijuana thing. That's what I'm saying, because other cities were going through the same process that we were going through. Yeah. Instead of when it's oh my God, we gotta take action. We gotta do it. No, you don't have to take it. No. All you have to do is put a moratorium on this thing. And take a deep breath.
And get everybody's input.
And let's get it until we get it right. Then put it out there to the public.
Absolutely.
And that's how it should have been. We shouldn't have been like, well, we got to have a lot of this. We forgot to do this or we forgot to do that. It shouldn't have been that. We should have looked around the other cities, see what they were doing, bring in our experts.
And take our time. What's the rush? What's the rush?
Exactly.
So let me just ask you this real quick. Like I said, I know you've been sitting back in the cut observing, which is what we need. We need city elders that have been in the game long enough to know, hey, my toe isn't in the water, but I'm still around the pool.
Yes.
So you've been watching what's been going on, what's the foolishness that's going on in City Hall. There is an alleged Brown Act violation. Did you see that clip of the Brown Act violation? Or did you hear about it?
I heard about it. I saw it.
Okay, so what is your thought on that?
I thought as soon as something like that happens, see that 3-vote thing is the what we call it, the
Achilles heel.
Yeah, that started everything.
Right.
And so
it exposed a lot of people.
Exposed, and the people see when something like that happened. That's one thing that we have the perception in this community of. Perception of corruption.
Yes, it keeps going.
Yeah, it's a perception. It's a perception of it. Mm-hmm. And so you got people all around say, why in the world did they do that?
Right.
Why are they doing that? So the least thing if you want to do to make transparency and everything else is not to go to 3. Stick with 2. Right. Work it out. Come to an agreement. That will prevent you from going through this. But you got to have trust with your own
constituents. People. Now, would you be against a skate park?
No.
Okay, would you be against an amphitheater?
No.
Neither would I. But here's my question. I'm the Duke of Edgemont. I've been here for 41 years. I have a golf course right across the street over there, and I have the skate park is right on the community park a block away. Yeah. Right? So I have everything that I need. Why would we want to build another? I'm sorry, it's not at the golf course. At the base.
Yes.
About a mile away. Why would we need another skate park within another 1.5 miles of the one we already have?
Well, that's another thing too.
What about the other side of the city?
Well, here's the thing. See, before we even went to that part, we should look at what is it right now? What is the status of that park?
Right.
Is it we don't know. Mm-hmm. So why would you want to build another one that's waste of money when you got?
Well, you can improve that one. Right.
Yeah, improve it. You got broken streets out here still, infrastructure improvement. You need a bathroom over here.
Right. But the thing is, if we want a skate park, what about the kids on the other side of the city?
Yeah.
Why should they have to drive from the east side to come over here to Edgemont to go to the skate park? the new skate park, when there's a skate park at March Air Reserve Base on the unincorporated side, you have 2 skate parks. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's another thing, though. But we don't see the thing is they should went back and say, okay, how's the spray? What is the progress? That's what I'm talking about. Performance measurements.
Yeah.
Well, performance, because I don't know what's been happening with that part.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, where the corruption comes into it. Because if they had brought this by procedure in front of the people, nobody would be against the project. Nobody would be against the amphitheater.
Yeah,
but what they tried to do, and this is what you guys that are listening, and I want you guys to listen to this very, very carefully. They do what they do because they know you ain't going to do shit about it, okay? You ain't going to file no claims. You're not going to go down to the DA. You're not going to fill out no complaint forms. You're not going to bust a grape. That's why they continue to do what they do. But notice the minute some of us start writing documents and putting it out, the story changes. Oh yeah, we might have jumped the gun. Hold on there. Hold on.
Well, see, that's when they should have stopped this whole thing altogether.
Exactly.
And start spending the resources, whatever it is they're doing, to put it out. If they realize that, then they say, you know what, my bad, my fault, or whatever. Take the full responsibility and stop the whole thing.
But here's the problem: once my complaint goes through, and I think it'll be approved. According to our city statute, no contracts are valid. So whatever contracts they've signed and money they paid out, I want that money back.
Well, I agree with you because, see, they need, not only that, they need to do it the right thing. That's why people have been asking. Do it the right way. It's a process to do it.
Do you think these 3 people believe in doing things the right way?
Well, based on the actions, I don't see it.
When you got grandma, the crime grandma out there, here they are again, the liars. The 3-0 Lion Club, here they are. But here you are, city activist. City activist. What kind of city activist organizes her grandchildren to do crimes and then gets arrested in the mode of doing it?
Well, see,
this is what they hang out with.
Well, see, that's the problem with the city because, as I said before, Donovan, that we have a potential to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
But if it's always been the one that says, anti this, anti.
Well, Evan Morgan's going to jail, so we don't have to worry about hearing that anti stuff.
But the thing is, if we, like you said, if you want a brighter future, then we have to. I know that my people says Pollyannish or whatever you want to call it, but I think it's real to me because I think by this election that we could bring the city together and do it the right way. And I think Jeffrey Guyber will bring the city together.
And even if he doesn't, he's still going to put a forum together where we all can go there, speak our minds without being cut off and, all this stuff going on. Yeah. Because we're supposed to be adults.
Well, yeah, that's the thing I put on my Facebook. We need adults in the room.
Yeah.
We have no adults.
Yeah, nobody wants to act like adult. I'm not here for you listeners that are listening to this podcast. You say you don't listen, but you listen, but you can quote everything I say. You guys that don't, I'm not here for you to like me. Like I've said all the time. You want me out of Moreno Valley politics? Fix Edgemont and do what it's supposed to do and stop stealing our money over here. I would have no reason to go to city council. I'm retired. I trust me, I have 101 other things I could be doing. Yeah. But because these people keep fucking up, excuse my language, I know it's Sunday. This is why you get people like me there. And I have nothing to lose. Why? Because I live in Edgemont.
It's about fairness. I think it's about priority and fairness. And I think this last two years has not been about fairness because of, like I said, Jeffrey Guyber and David Marquez's constituents has been left out of the process because they can't get anything on the agenda.
Well, and I'm going to have to correct you on that.
Okay.
Not just Jeffrey Guyber and Dave Marquez, District 1 too. Because we have a council person that doesn't do jack shit for this area. Because you ask her every time, I'm here to make decisions for the city.
But it should be based on your constituents.
No,
what I'm saying is that I mean your concern is a fair concern because of the fact, again, we talking about taxpayer money and we talking about the park without no basketball. It's more, again, and I agree with you, it's more a human need that we have people that should have a place to go to the bathroom.
Right.
That's a necessity. I mean, that's not something that's something extra or extra. Mm-hmm. This is something that it's a dignity. People having the dignity.
Right. I want to tell everybody that commotion that just happened there. My cat just now peed on my green screen. So just because she did that, I'm a little upset right now. However, still go to the animal shelter and get you a nice furry friend, family member. She doesn't usually do that all the time. She's a little older, but she's just marking her territory from the other cat that I have. So go to the animal shelter and get you some good animals. But back to what we're saying, a good point in that. So Denise Fleming's running for the 3rd, 5th, 12th time. I don't know. She doesn't get the hint. Nobody wants her to be elected. What do you think? She came in second last time, but a loss is a loss. So it doesn't matter. Nobody remembers second place.
Yeah.
So what do you think her chances are in this election between those 4 or 5 people? What's her placing?
It probably, let's see.
Yes, cat.
I think it might be a third place. And the reason why I say that is it's because one, you have Guyba, who's a council member. Sure. He's an incumbent. He's an incumbent.
Him and Marquez, they're incumbents.
Yeah, so people recognize their name. If you go by the big signs, and so council member.
Sure.
But that's why I look at it like that. I said because they're incumbent.
But I mean, you've met Denise. I've met Denise. Yeah. You talk to the average person, and they say her personality just kills it. I mean, I've talked to all kinds of residents on the east side during the golf course discussions, and they would ask me about Denise, and they'd say, "Wow, that woman is just." They just don't like her personality because she doesn't seem genuine at all.
Yeah, I would agree because it's from my point of view it's not genuine. I mean, to me it's
Chicago politics.
Well, yeah, I mean because maybe because I know y'all relationship, but it's like to me I just have had that perspective that she doesn't. It's just not genuine to me, and it's all about her. And I'm just being real about it. It is about her. I mean, I'm not going to say
and it kind of kills me too because I think it kind of she gets upset that she's not the center of attention in a room. Like I said, LaDonna Jimson. Okay, LaDonna got bounced out of the seat for reasons that we all are aware of. I said I'm not going to start harping and hitting on her anymore about what she did. But to me, it's almost like Denise is mad that she can't get elected. Now you got this girl, Sherlinda Bernard. She looks like she might be elected in District 4. Corey Jackson looks like, if everything holds correctly, he might be a winner in District 2. Likelihood. Yeah. And these are people that are part of her organization that now are going to have influence, and Denise doesn't have any influence.
Well, because they come across like Linda, she comes a genuine.
Yeah, genuine.
She seems
young,
regular person with a lot of energy.
Tells you her mind.
And Corey, the same thing. I met Corey. He's a really nice guy. Got a lot of energy, down to earth person.
Yes,
and he doesn't think he is superior to anybody else.
Right.
He's down to earth. He listens to anybody who willing to talk to him or have a conversation, just like Sherlinda.
Right, and and I got to say this for Corey. Yeah, okay, he lost by 7 in the last election, and he's back this election. Now, losing by 7, and I know Corey might not be everybody's cup of tea, but after what was just, we're going to get to that, just sprung on us this week, to me, there's no other person you could vote for in that district if it comes down to that. If he wasn't your first choice, he should be now. When you lose by 7 votes, it's only mathematically and politically correct to run again for the office because you're that close.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's back, and in the 4 years that we haven't seen Corey, he's been in the community.
Yes, he's been involved.
Yeah, he's been involved, and he's putting it all on the line. Now, can I say that about a Denise Fleming? I really can't. I only see Denise when it's election time, and then when you ask her, well, what have you done in the community? Just like you said, everything's generic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Corey, like I said, Corey is genuine, and he cares.
Yeah, he cares.
I could see, like I said, dealing with these people over my young 25 and 30, 20, I say 25, 26 years dealing with politicians.
Yeah,
that you can see through people.
Right.
And you can see you
can see the type.
You can see, and I see Corey, and I see Shalinda out there doing it, and they're not being very, politically saying
they're being
answers.
Themselves. Yeah,
they're not saying, well, is it a yes or no question? And says, well, let me say this. I'm going around the curve, blah blah blah. Okay, when are you going to say yes or no? Then?
Right. Well, the funny thing is that you bring that up at the Box Springs forum. The question was put to Corey Jackson, and it was a pretty intense question. He just said, yes. That was it. He was done.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all you got to say. Instead of going into this elaborate, in the 403 and the 57, and when I read the EIRH7, nobody understands that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They want somebody who can relate to them.
Right.
Someone that understands. It's like the question. I went to that, the one on crossword.
Crossword.
I was there. Mm-hmm. And and it was interesting. It says, how can you relate to people? I'm sitting there thinking, well, the question would be, well, I work in this community. I go and get on the freeway like everybody else. And where they were coming from, they were very genuine people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, answering because I want somebody who say, it's like, hey, I worked 2 or 3 jobs. I know what it's like to struggle.
They're in your shoes.
They're in your shoes. They know what it's like to struggle. They ain't somebody, it's like, we have a new person at who got a new job at Lowe's, and I say, don't forget how it was when you were like us, because sometimes people forget what it's like. Right,
when they start moving up in management or experience.
And the experience that you had there should make you a better manager because you know how to deal with the people at the lower level. That's the same thing when you become a council member. You don't forget where you came from.
Right, because eventually, somewhere down the line, you're going to be a regular citizen again.
Yeah, exactly. You got to live with your laws. You're going to be living with bumpy streets or cars jacked up in the yard or something.
Now, real quick, because I want to get these in before this segment's over. District 4, Shalinda Bernard versus Ulysses Cabarrus. What is your take on that? I think that this guy is toast. Because Highland Fairview candidates cannot compete in a one-on-one race. And he's in a one-on-one race. And in my opinion, no matter how much money Ito throws at him, it won't matter because the way he got in, a lot of people are upset about that. And remember the people that couldn't vote because of the districts that had changed? They're pissed off. And they didn't appreciate the way he got in. So I think that he's gone. I think the winner, and I'm gonna say that right now early. I'm gonna call it Shalinda Bernard winner, District 4, Moreno Valley.
I like Shalinda because, like I say, you remember we had the discussion before about Councilmember Cabarrus.
Yes.
Okay. You remember I said at one time he had a chance to be different than the rest of them. He had to stand up and be a man.
You gave him the benefit of that. We gave him the benefit of that.
That he stand up and be a man. What I mean by being a man, be your own person.
Own person.
Do and take you and march to your own beat. Mm-hmm. Represent the people in the 4th district how it should be.
How it should be, right?
And you took money, whatever, but be your own person. Mm-hmm. That separates. That's what leadership is about. Mm-hmm. And
there's nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with taking money.
No, it's not wrong.
Just address it.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. And he didn't stand up on his 2 feet. Mm-hmm. He could have been different. He could have said, I'm my own person. I'm glad you helped me, but I'm going to be my own person and making this area different. I'm tired of seeing, I call them zombies, walking around.
Walking dead.
Walking around in my district, and I see my streets got holes everywhere. Right. And kids by Stater Brothers don't know where to go because they got no youth center.
Yeah, there's no youth center, nothing like that. And then you're the councilman over there, and we were talking about the golf course over there and bringing a youth center in. I was there involved in the talks with Pastor Don. Cabarrus showed up twice. Now I bet you he's going to be like, I was involved. No, you weren't. You weren't involved with that. You had no clue what was going on.
Well, that's my point about him is the fact he had a lot of potential that he could have been his own man. He could have changed a lot of people's minds and hearts about what kind of
person he is.
But Well, he followed the same.
Yeah, well, being a young guy, I'm going to say this for him. Mm-hmm. This was the best and the highest paying job he's ever had. $2,000 a month plus the stipends and all the stuff that goes with it. A $60,000 package a year. Now he enrolled, I heard, to RCC full time because I think even he knows in the back of his mind that he is out of a job, and I think he's going to be gone. And we need new blood in this town. Period.
Well, yeah, you need people that have hearts and people that can stand up and to think logically, and be rational, and
take their feelings out of it
and become an adult.
Right.
And because again, if someone hates my guts, so be it. But I'm still gonna listen to you. Right. I disagree with you. That's okay. That's democracy. Yeah. Democracy ain't pretty.
Exactly. I mean, what I do right now, people threaten me all the time and whatever, and I tell them, come over to the house. I mean, I invite everybody over here, but, nobody's ever taken me up on that. I would love to take out some personal aggression on somebody who thinks that they want to do what they want to do.
But that's all I'm saying, because I had hope for him, because I thought maybe, as being as young as he is, that he would kind of be awoken.
No, he wanted to take it with no Vaseline, and that's what we told him. We had warned him he's just going to be used and thrown away. Well,
that's my thing. That's my take on him. But Shalonda, I think she'll be her own person. We won't have to worry about her. She just have to, she's knowledgeable, very smart.
Yeah,
and she's innovative.
So if you had to vote, who would you vote for?
I would vote for Shalinda.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like yeah.
Okay, real quick in District 2. You've got Carrie Thin, Corey Jackson, Carla Thornton. We're going to talk about Carla Thornton really, really big. And you know what? We're not even going to talk about this section right now. We'll talk about that in the second segment. But for mayor, right now, if you had to vote, you would vote for?
Guyba.
Congress, we're going to talk about that more so in the second hour, too. Aja Smith, Mark Takano.
I like Aja. I'll be voting for.
Yeah, I like Aja too, because we need to change. I
just think it's becoming too partisan for my taste. Where name throwing. That's why I'm saying we need more adults. We need more adults at the table, and I just don't like the fact what the congressman is doing. I just think it's wrong. I just think it's just wrong.
Well, it's funny how he could get down here in the mud with the locals, but you never hear him in the 2 years. He did great for the LGBT community, the Democratic National agenda, whatever they're doing up there. But why do people forget that the only people that you are accountable to are the people that voted you in office? He's supposed to be accountable to the 41st district. And when I ask people that support him, because I remember I was on his, got him elected in 2012, helped get him elected. What has he done for the 41st district? And nobody can give me an answer.
I haven't seen anything. That's my whole
Nothing
point.
Tangible, right?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing about being in Congress, you be on these rider bills or whatever it is. But see, the thing is, I say it time and time again, you should be representing your people, like in the 41st district.
Nothing else matters.
Exactly. That's who put you there, and you should be able to work with other people, regardless of their party, to get something done.
Right.
And then that's being bipartisan.
Right.
Because normally you would have to work with other people, regardless if you disagree. There might be something that you can agree on that and say, you know what, I'm going to work with you on. I don't agree with you on everything, but this one I do agree with you on.
Right.
To make this place better.
But, like I said, I'm a little disappointed because, like I said, you got these, what really scares me about politics, you got all these teachers running, and it seems like all these people that were former teachers or whatever their occupation is, there's some pretty corrupted people, and they call themselves teachers.
Yeah, it's always just the slogan, it's always the slogan that catches, like you said, what catches people's eyes? Teacher for Congress, teacher for council, teacher for this, teacher for that. What if someone put up there the working man for city council or the Duke of Edgemont?
Right, exactly.
I mean, I'm just being words like that, or I'm not going to be a clown, or I'm not going to be. Right. I ain't going to say the word, but anyway.
What's that? Remember that the rent is too high party? That one brother?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Be down there teacher, it catches people. But why? It's like when I ran for the school board, it said, well, you're not a teacher, and you're not a parent. Right. So why I can't care? Why?
Right, exactly. Again, some of our best judicial people never even had a law degree.
Yeah. but it's always the catchy phrase.
I guess so. Hey, I'm with Daryl Terrell, Mr. Moreno Valley. In the second hour, we're going to talk about some more issues going on. Daryl Terrell's been a longtime resident here. He is the originator of Hire Moval, and he has been sitting and observing. And we're going to use his wisdom to see what and where we're going to be located. You guys stand by. We will be back in the second hour. Stand by, please.